Good morning and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to do something a little bit different. Today's video is all about you, the Celtic fans, and it's going to be basically the whole video turned over to you, because without you this channel would be nothing. And obviously yesterday, the other day, we hit a magnificent milestone of over 6 million views on the channel. And we'll just go through the channel a bit. So obviously if you haven't watched this playlist here, watch this. It's a fantastic playlist. And then you've also got live streams, videos that we've uploaded, popular videos. 4 years ago that was cracker, and the one where I walked right through the Rangers fans when they walked in front of Parkhead that day. And this guy used to be a laugh on Twitter. And then if you haven't seen this video here where a Celtic fan hacks the Wi-Fi in the shop, watch that video. But the channel, the community tab, if you click on the community tab, that's where you always get information and a bit of our laughs. And then obviously there's the 6 million views that we've had. So we're going to jump onto the comment section, and the comments are all from you, the viewers, and we're going to talk about your comments from yesterday's video, where the Celtic manager said that Kyogo, Abada and Jota was not for sale, as they were the mainstay of the club, and he basically wants to build the team around them. So first up yesterday was Donny Boy. Thanks for your comments as always, Donny Boy. We've got a big squad and rotates only certain positions. Obviously we can't play all the players in one game, so patience is the key for players. They'll get their game time, but obviously won't start every game. Hail hail. Kaiser Soze says, great news, legend. Everything at Celtic is progressing as I thought it would. Have a great day. Hail, hail. And then Donny Boy, to trust the manager. If he says no sale, then believe no sale. Which is my point exactly. Gara, he went on to say, Big Ange's vision will come in time. He's building for the Champions League. We'll hope it does come. And correct, is that O is going to be the third development striker. Kyogo gets injured. I can't see O leading the line in Europe. Will be interesting to see whether the other Korean said he would prefer to move in the winter window. That's the other one, that's Che, was it not? Wanted to move in the summer window, not the winter. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we go back in for that lad in the summer. GPX said, love your content, mate. Thanks very much for that. I'll just heart that as I'm doing this. And then Tig says, making us go Jersey mad, sporting all finery. Keep pumping up the fight, does not exist, only in their minds. I think, what did you think about the news yesterday? Obviously we got we got them in the semi-final. So tell me in the comments, and I will do a news video this afternoon. So don't worry, you will get your Celtic news briefing today. It will be on later this afternoon. It'll probably come out in the UK around about 5 o'clock. But yeah, we are all we're going to be talking about again. Just imagine if Michael Beale is the first Rangers manager, first Sevco manager to hand us over a cup, 2 cups, and if we beat them at Ibrox and win the league in front of them, it'd go down in history, wouldn't it? Anyway, back to the comments. Something today said 100% we need another striker, another Kyogo, please. Mappy says, so Ange wants a treble, so do we. This is very true. Dan Watt says, a couple of things here to point out. Firstly, that Celtic operate a player trading model that is absolutely fundamental to the financial health. This means that all those players are very much for sale. Secondly, because of what Ange has no say and whether or not they'll be sold. That's a bit controversial, Dan. I think if Ange Postecoglou had no say whether a player was sold, I think he'd be the first to walk out the door. I think you underestimate how much power our manager has and how much control he has in the club and how much respect he has from the board. Hence the fact that he's getting to change things from the top and the bottom all the way up to the top. So I think you might be wrong with that, Dan, but it'd be good to get your comment. Donny Boy replied, if a huge bid comes in for any player, Ange will be happy to see the player go for the sake of the player and the club. I think Ange is a bit deeper than that. When you listen to his conversation, when you listen to his interviews, he has a conversation with the player. I don't think he lets the board determine whether a player is going to go. I think he does talk to the player, and he looks at the bigger picture, and that's the determining factor, and that's the difference. Where in the past, if it was, say, Neil Lennon, for instance, you know, Lenny didn't have much of a say if a player came or went. So I think Ange Postecoglou does have a bit more control over this club. Hence the reason that Ange Postecoglou says, the Celtic manager, people will be surprised how long I'm actually here. So take from that what you will. Catholic Treble says, keep up the good news. Hell. Kevin Carrick says, why would we sell them anyway? Kyogo aside, Abada and Jota are still young. They can develop as time goes on. Yep, we don't need to sell them for about 3 or 4 years. I think we can watch them develop into fantastic players at Celtic and then sell them. Remember, they're still only young. So I think you sell them around the 25 to 26 years old level and we'll get more money for them, and we'll have got a real good... And they're not at the top of their career at that point also. So, you know, they've still got a good few years left in them. They're still to reach their peak. They're nowhere near the peak of the type of player that they're going to be. We would never sell a club. That's the problem of having quality players at your disposal, as clubs will come looking for them. It means that you're doing things right if you have that, because if you look over the other end of Glasgow, you don't see many papers being linked with their players on an ongoing basis and big bids coming in, apart from last season. Green Lecce says, I do reckon that some players will go, just not the ones that the Scottish media would want rid of. This is very true, Green Lecce. Robert Holmes says, love it. Mick says, class. Tim Annan, good to see you in the channel again. Tim, personally, I wouldn't be opposed to selling Abada if it was for 12 to 15 million. And we bring in someone more experienced, wide player. I think when you're looking around Europe, the more experienced player will cost you in the region of between 15 and 20 million. I think that a lot of the good teams that are progressing quite far do have this this youthness to the teams and the pace, and that's what's making them so good, is because they're unknown types of players. And Mappy says Abada is only going to get better and better. I want to see him in the green and white hoops. And Paul McDuff says, good for me, hail, thanks for that. Paul Baird says, hail. And John Copeland said, who keeps asking these monstrous questions about players leaving the club? It's not going to happen anytime soon. How sad, too bad. And yep, and then the next one is, Tapper's a bit tight. Oh, they're celebrating. It was a bit tight, that one, yesterday, but glad to say this one isn't as tight as what I thought it was going to be when I put it on this morning. So on that note, check out the Celtic news video that will come this afternoon. Thank you very much. I appreciate every single comment. Make sure that we get as many thumbs up for this. I'm going to set a thumbs up target for this afternoon's video. Honestly, it's a pleasure doing these videos. It's fantastic when you can't go to the games anymore. And what can I say? I just love it. And on that note, make sure you have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party.